How many of your new favorite eats are actually hiding inside Disney's Animal Kingdom? We're taking you inside the park's best restaurants today so you can find out for yourself. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. When you're in Disney's Animal Kingdom, it doesn't matter whether you're looking for a filling meal on a budget or something bougie that's still worth the splurge. There's something for every type of palate and price range. And that's why we're going to break down the best of the Animal Kingdom restaurants to show you how easy it can be to find your new favorite place to eat, drink, and snack throughout this beautiful park. If you're curious to learn our top 10 restaurant rankings for every single Disney World park, then guess what? You can do that right now just by scanning the QR code you see on the screen or by heading to disneyfoodblog.com/top restaurants. You can pick up our free copy of all our favorite places to eat inside the parks at the most magical place on earth. Let's start out with when you want some fast food that's just as filling as a sit-down meal. So here's the dilemma. You're hungry, like really hungry, but you're also on a pretty strict dining budget, and you also want really, really good food, but you don't want to spend hours getting it. So what's our solution that'll satisfy all of these criteria? These quick service restaurants. We're going to start with Tree BBQ. This is over on Discovery Island, and it holds a place in my heart for multiple reasons. First of all, it's going to more than satisfy you with hearty portions of barbecue fare. Not too bad barbecue fare either, at a cheaper price point than you would find at, say, Roundup Rodeo Barbecue over at Hollywood Studios. Although Roundup Rodeo is all you care to enjoy, it's also priced at $45 per adult. Meanwhile, you can still get your fill of barbecue over at Tree for under $20 per adult entree. The cheapest yet super filling option on the Tree menu is the Smokehouse Chicken Salad for around $12. That's going to provide you with pulled chicken on top of a mixed green salad, tossed with smoked cheddar, diced Granny Smith apples, dried cranberries, cornbread croutons, crispy onions, and barbecue ranch dressing. Meanwhile, the priciest item on this menu, the ribs, chicken, and pulled pork sampler, is just under $20 and gives you tons of meat alongside signature baked beans and coleslaw. Because of how much food you'll get on this one, you can usually share it with another person in your group and still leave this quick service plenty full. Another reason why I love this place, it's way prettier than people give it credit for. The outdoor seating gives you a picture-perfect look across the Discovery River, so try to grab a seat near the water. One word of warning about this restaurant, because all of its seating is outdoors, so ducks and other birds of a feather are known to flock around the tables to see if any guests will just so happen to drop a small smack roll or two off their plates. As with all dining locations in the Animal Kingdom park, guests are strongly encouraged not to feed the animals, because the more often they're fed, the braver they become about just coming up and snatching food off your plates themselves. It's happened to us before. Plus, they don't learn how to feed themselves, so human food isn't great for the wildlife tummies either. Despite their big begging eyes, you're doing these little critters a favor by not caving and throwing them a fry or two. There's an unexpected teaching moment at this restaurant too. We love edutainment. So all of the decor here is focused on the circle of life, so you'll see animals catching and eating their prey. Once you notice one, you're going to start seeing depictions of the food chain all over the place. This is super weird because you're also part of the food chain at that moment. So yeah, it's kind of creepy and strange, but again, teaching moment, so there we go. And you'll find Yak and Yeti local food cafes in the Asia section of the park, right next to the full-service Yak and Yeti restaurant. This is a quick service where you're going to find Asian-inspired dishes like honey sesame chicken, vegetable tikka masala, tempura shrimp, and a cheeseburger for the less adventurous. Entrees here range around $14 to $19, and you're also going to find some hefty side dishes like the egg rolls or chicken fried rice for just $7.99. And Satuli Canteen. Now this serves as the main place to eat when you're looking for grub in Pandora, with a dining room theme that celebrates the culture and art of the Na'vi. The menu is inspired by Pandora's bounty, with customizable bowls and steamed cheeseburger pods. Apparently that's what grows there, along with unique drinks and desserts available during lunch and dinner. While the cheeseburger pods are a smaller yet still super awesome entree to choose on both the adult and kids menu, the customizable bowls are where you're going to get the most substantial eats. Here, you're going to choose your protein like chicken, tofu, chimichurri beef, or chili garlic shrimp, your base like the rice and black beans and red and sweet potato hash, lo mein noodles, or hearty salad, and your sauce like the charred green onion vinaigrette, the black bean vinaigrette, and the creamy herb dressing, or even no sauce if you'd prefer that instead. The great thing about these bowls is that they're not only super filling, but you can create them to be as adventurous or as safe, quote unquote, as you want them to be, to help satisfy a range of different eaters in your dining party. This quick service used to serve up a couple of breakfast options too, but we haven't seen those on the menu for a little bit. And that's the perfect transition to my next point. What if breakfast in Animal Kingdom is calling your name? You can't start off your park day on a high note with a grumbling stomach, because hunger can get ya, even in a Disney park, especially in a Disney park actually. So if you're in search of a quick bite to eat and a cup of coffee before taking on the Yeti over at Expedition Everest, you may want to stop by the Isle of Java kiosk on Discovery Island, which you're going to find just before entering the Asia section of the park. Isle of Java has savory breakfast options like the sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit, which is also available without the sausage if you want. They've also got sweet pastry options too, like the Tiger Tail Chocolate Twist, aka a similar flaky chocolatey pastry to the Cheshire Cat Tail over at the Cheshire Cafe in Magic Kingdom. To wash it all down, you can order a cappuccino, espresso latte, or a hot cold brew Joffrey's coffee. And for a little extra pick-me-up, there's the Island Cappuccino spiked with rum, which you can order instead as long as you're 21 and over, of course. Deeper into the Asia section of the park, Yak and Yeti Local Foods also has breakfast options for you to choose from. During lunch and dinner, Yak and Yeti Local Foods is a quick service that serves Pan-Asian specialties like honey sesame chicken, vegetable tikka masala, and chicken fried rice. But in the morning, this is where you're going to find the most savory breakfast options among the quick services, like breakfast bowls and English muffin sandwiches. And for all you kids out there, they've also got pancakes on a stick. And we all know food automatically tastes better when it's on a stick. But what if you're starting your day out in Africa instead for a ride aboard Kilimanjaro safaris to see all the animals out and about on the savannah? Then you better try something over at the Kusafiri Coffee Shop and Bakery. Much like Isle of Java, Kusafiri is going to serve some quick bites for breakfast with the same breakfast sandwich you'll see at Isle of Java too, the sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit. Yet it also has different pastries to choose from, like the pistachio honey croissant, a colossal cinnamon roll, that's the original location of those big giant Mickey cinnamon rolls, and a variety of assorted muffins. But don't just depend on this place for your breakfast, because if you swing by here later in the day, you'll also find some rather unique lunch options that you're not going to find anywhere else in Disney World, like the marinated chicken and pork flatbreads, as well as the impossible empanadas made with flaky Latin dough and filled with a plant-based picadillo. And what if you're just looking for a classic Starbucks fix? Well, Creature Comforts in Discovery Island is your one-stop shop for authentic Starbucks fraps and refreshers, cold brews, breakfast sandwiches, pastries, even a few seasonal Animal Kingdom specific items as well. Just keep in mind that this is Starbucks we're talking about here, so the lines get real long for Creature Comforts first thing in the morning. Most people don't notice, but there are actually 2 lines here. And since people don't notice, the line to the right towards Africa is going to be shorter because everybody's coming up from the entrance and going through Discovery Island, so they're getting in line on the left side and nobody's getting in line on the right side, so that can be you, my friends. And even though this is a location that sells Starbucks items, it's not a location where you're going to be able to use your Starbucks rewards or gift cards to save on your Starbucks treats. So if you'd rather save your Starbucks fix for when you can use your rewards and membership app, then you're better off grabbing a Starbucks drink or snack over at one of the Disney Springs Starbucks locations instead, where your points and cards will be accepted. Now, maybe you'd rather spend your money on higher end grub, right? Some guests like saving extra cash for their Disney trips to spend on fun little trinkets and souvenirs, but others like to save because they want to eat really good food and drink really good cocktails at those premium restaurants and lounges. And then there are those who like to do a little bit of both. Let me know in the comments which kind of vacation budgeter you are. But if you'd rather eat your souvenir money instead of spending it on more Disney merch, then here's where you need to go in Animal Kingdom. So Tiffins is the only signature, aka high-end bougie, dining experience inside the park, but it holds its own pretty well. This restaurant celebrates all things travel in both its international menu options like the Tiffins bread service, the tamarind braised short rib, and the plant-based Szechuan noodles, as well as the multiple dining rooms that double as a place to sit down and eat, while also being these intricate full-on art galleries that actually feature things that inspired and contributed to the creation of Animal Kingdom Park. So no matter which dining room you're placed in, feel free to get up and walk around after you order to check out all of the different exhibits. Now, Tiffins is a place you're going to want to make an advanced dining reservation for if you know you're going to need an extended break during your park day. Just relaxing, eating good food, spending time in the AC, checking out all those exhibits. It's a nice little escape. However, this tends to be the most expensive meal inside the park, with just the entrees alone costing $32 to $65 plus per person. So when I say budget for this one, I mean it. Don't get caught off guard by the sticker shock here. And while this restaurant is great for those with more adventurous palates, it might not be the best location for those who'd be more than satisfied with just a plain burger and fries for lunch or dinner, because you'll be paying for a whole lot more variety than that. Also, I've always found the portions here to be a little bit small, and I know a lot of people disagree with me on that, but for the amount I'm paying, I want to make sure I'm not leaving still hungry. Now, attached to Tiffins is Nomad Lounge. Now, this is the place that I choose to go in Animal Kingdom every single time. Reason number one, you don't need to make a reservation. Nomad Lounge opens their walk-up waitlist by 11 a.m. daily. And yes, you should put your name on that waitlist sooner rather than later, since this lounge is extremely popular, and you can put your name on the waitlist right at Nomad Lounge or via your My Disney Experience app. But you don't have to stress about making a reservation for it ahead of your trip, which is great. If you're someone who likes to plan things more at the last minute anyways, this is perfect. Reason two, while you can't order off the full Tiffins menu at Nomad Lounge, you can still order lots of the best things from the Tiffins menu here, since the lounge and signature restaurant share a kitchen. This includes appetizer options like the honey chili glazed pork belly, the lobster mac and cheese, and my personal favorite, that Tiffins bread service. Oh, and please don't forget to get the gluten-free churros here. They are phenomenal. Now, reason three, this lounge is gorgeous. While inside the lounge is set up to feel like you're inside an explorer's tent with earthy colors and soft curtains reminiscent of mosquito netting, plenty of natural lighting. I love sitting in here. The outdoor patio gives you comfy seating and a great view across Discovery River. So there's really no wrong answer to the question, would you prefer a table inside or outside? Though I usually do tend to pick inside, especially if it's really, really hot out. But if it's a nice fall or spring day, outside, you just can't beat it. Now, don't fret. I know there's one more reason to love Nomad Lounge, and a very crucial reason at that, but I'll talk about that fourth and final reason later on in the video. All right, next we're going to talk Tusker House. Remember, we're still on the spending your money on higher end food point here in this video. So would you rather spend your money on both good food and character meet and greets minus the wait times? That's when Tusker House is going to be one of the best investments of your trip. The food at this all you care to enjoy buffet is flavorful and interesting with African-inspired options that rotate out regularly, but they could include spit-roasted tandoori chicken, roasted root vegetables, that's not rusted root vegetables for all of you 90s kids, roasted root vegetables, and nature-inspired desserts during lunch and dinner. Meanwhile, breakfast here is going to provide you with the classic spread of morning options like Mickey and Simba waffles, yay, eggs, bacon, overnight oats, etc., as well as a unique pastry variety, including options like zebra coffee cake and unique Danish flavors. But while you're busy chowing down on whatever you want to pile onto your plates, Donald, Mickey, Goofy, and Daisy are going to come up to your table to say hi and take pictures. And they'll be all dressed up in their safari best. Now, I'm seriously jealous of how well they dress. I almost feel silly taking a picture next to them when I'm just in shorts and a t-shirt and I am not wearing my safari best. It just doesn't feel right. Now, once again, this dining experience does not come cheap, and it will set you back about $59 per adult and $38 per kid for lunch and dinner. However, if your real priority for eating here is to meet Donald and friends without waiting in long park lines for him, then you can always book your meal for breakfast. Instead, it'll be a slightly cheaper cost. That's going to bring that price tag down to $45 per adult and $29 per kid. And let's talk Yak and Yeti. Now, this is kind of a controversial table service to add to this section of the video, but I'm going to talk about it in here regardless. The food at Yak and Yeti is very tasty with Pan-Asian options like Bang Bang calamari and Bang Bang shrimp sometimes, ahi tuna nachos, and miso salmon. And yes, the setting here is well themed with Nepalese-style dining areas. It's just beautiful in there. And you can definitely rack up a bill here though, depending on what you order. I wouldn't exactly call Yak and Yeti a fine dining splurge by any means. The food here is in Disney standards, more reasonably priced. There's even a shareables portion of the menu you can split with multiple members in your group. You can also get higher end options though, if you so desire, like the Malaysian seafood curry, the bak-to-board duck, and the hibachi steak and shrimp. And not only is Yak and Yeti a more semi-affordable table service option inside Animal Kingdom, but here's the real shocker, it isn't actually owned by Disney at all. It's owned by Landry's, who also owns and operates restaurants like Rainforest Cafe and T-Rex Cafe. But don't let that scare you. The quality and variety of the Yak and Yeti restaurant tends to be better than the restaurants with the dozens upon dozens of animatronic friends. But here's the best part about eating at a Landry's owned restaurant inside Disney. If you sign up or are already part of the Landry's loyalty program, then you could be eligible for discounts and priority seating when you make a Yak and Yeti reservation. Loyalty programs can actually be used around lots of Disney World restaurants and not just the Landry's owned ones, which you might not have even realized as a money-saving possibility. Now, if you'd like to learn about all of these hidden discount opportunities, read up on our loyalty programs chapter from our DFB Guide to Walt Disney World Dining. It's over on the dfbstore.com website. Now, maybe it's hot out and you need a cold treat. Are you ready to find out where to get those in Animal Kingdom? Some of my all-time favorite soft serve to get in Disney World is over at the Anandapur ice cream truck in the Asia section of the park. Can't find it? Don't worry, you will. As you're heading toward Expedition Everest from Africa, keep your eyes peeled for this beautifully and intricately painted truck. You can't miss it. Flavors here are fairly typical. It's vanilla, chocolate, swirl, and you can get these flavors inside a cup or a traditional waffle cone. You can also get these in float form too, along with your choice of fountain drink. But aside from the standard stuff, Anandapur also usually has specialty sundaes, which tend to change based on the time of year that you visit. More often than not, the specialty sundae we most commonly find is the Yeti sundae. It's a chocolate soft serve topped with vanilla soft serve, blue cake crumbs, sugar, sweet snowflakes, and a chocolate Yeti image. The Caravan Road, also over in Asia, is probably closed more often than it is open, but when it is open, it's best known for its shave ice with flavors like watermelon, mango, passion fruit, and pina colada. If you want to try a shave ice that's a little more unique, then you can try the kakigori instead, which is a Japanese shaved ice dessert flavored with watermelon, and you can get it sweetened with condensed milk. If this kiosk happens to be closed during your visit, which it probably will be unless you're visiting around spring break or the height of summer, you can also try kakigori over at Epcot, since the Kabuki Cafe kiosk in the Japan Pavilion serves it all year round. However, the kakigori over at Caravan Road has a spiked version that you won't find in Epcot, which will add vodka to your shave ice treat for an extra cost. Want a little warmth to go along with those cool and refreshing treats? Dino Bite Snacks has these fabulous ice cream cookie sandwiches that are really simple yet really effective. Just 2 freshly baked chocolate chip cookies sandwiching a nice and smooth vanilla ice cream. If you looked up Pure Bliss in the dictionary, this would probably be there. And much like the Anandapur ice cream truck, there are seasonal ice cream cookie sandwiches that also appear on the menu at Dino Bites, and they're probably even better than the regular. Finally, Tamu Tamu Refreshments is the key place where you're going to find Dole Whip in Animal Kingdom, but not just any Dole Whip. You can also get boozy Dole Whip here, so it's not all boozy. You can order a standard pineapple cup or a specialty Simba Sunset too, which has an added strawberry syrup to it. But if you're of age and want to pour some rum into this classic Disney treat, you're more than welcome to do it for an upcharge. Now, maybe you want a drink that's not just your standard margarita. Now look, I'm all about the classic marg, so no hate whatsoever if that's your all-time favorite boozy concoction. Same here. But if you want a little marg and drink variety to add to your tasting resume, then Animal Kingdom can help amp things up for you. First up, we've got Dawa Bar, which is a boozy haven in the middle of the Africa area. The drinks here are strong and the ambiance is casual. Many people tend to overlook it because it blends in so well with this area of the park, almost too well. But if you're searching for it, you'll find Dawa Bar directly next to Tusker House Restaurant underneath a covered pavilion. Dawa's specialty cocktails are all handcrafted instead of pre-mixed, giving this place extra points in my book. And lo and behold, there's a unique African margarita here, which deviates from the traditional marg thanks to the addition of Vanderham, a tangerine liqueur from South Africa. Along with that, other highlights of this place include Lost on Safari with rum and a fruit punch, referred to as Pangani Punch, Harambe iced tea with vodka, gin, rum, Vanderham tangerine liqueur, OJ and Sprite, and the Nagumu jungle juice with vodka, peach schnapps, and pog juice, aka passion fruit, orange, and guava flavoring. For specialty mocktails and cocktails alike, Pangu Pangu over in Pandora has a small selection of pre-mixed drinks, but they're fun pre-mixed drinks. There's a non-alcoholic concoction that the whole family might be able to get behind. It's the Night Blossom, made with layers of apple and desert pear limeade, then topped with bursting passion fruit boba balls. I don't know if I'd call this one refreshing. There's a lot of sugar in there, but it is really sweet and fruity and pretty to look at. The same Night Blossom can be transformed into a Rum Blossom, which, yeah, I think you can probably guess what's spiking that one. But for another new take on a classic margarita, try out the Moara Margarita, which is your traditional lime marg with added blue curacao, of course, because it's Disney, and bursting bobas too. Now, for those who are confused, yes, the Moara Margarita first started in Pandora being red, with red bursting bobas, and now it's blue with yellow bobas. Confusing, but, you know, change is change, right? And of course, I've already mentioned Nomad Lounge earlier, but I gotta shout it out again because I promised you a fourth reason as to why I love this place so much, and that reason is its handcrafted drinks. The drinks at Nomad are wildly interesting and tasty too. While yes, these drinks will rack up your bill pretty quickly, trying one or two could be worth it for you at the sake of a take-home souvenir. A few of our past personal favorites have included the High Tower Rocks made with tequila, watermelon, sweet and sour, and lime juice, The Kungaloosh Spiced Expedition Ale. This is an African-inspired deep amber ale brewed exclusively for Disney World with sorghum and a special blend of spices, including cinnamon and cardamom. And the Annapurna Zing, a Bria recommendation, made with gin, passion fruit puree, mint, lime juice, and ginger beer. This one also comes with a glowing lotus flower, but in the past I've been able to ask for the drink without the flower to shave some money off my drink purchase. Now, we've just had a bunch of drinks, so maybe we need a substantial snack. If you're not hungry enough for a full-blown meal yet, but you still want a snack that's heartier than just a few bites, these are the places I want you to go. First up, 8 Spoon Cafe. This is over on Discovery Island, right before you cross the bridge into Asia. There's a cute little blue and gold kiosk, and it's got some truly unique snacks. It's very unassuming, and I love it. My favorite is the baked mac and cheese with pulled pork, and the pulled pork jelly donut sandwich is there as well. Not gonna say it's my favorite, but it is there. And if you like the baked macaroni and cheese with pulled pork and you want an even bigger portion of it, you can actually find a full-size version of this dish on the menu at Tree BBQ too, and that one's topped with a giant crispy onion ring. Next is the Smiling Crocodile on Discovery Island. This has Caravan Road Syndrome, so while it's open during busier times of the year, it's not open all year long. When this kiosk is open, it'll hook you up with some solid street tacos to nosh on. It usually has chicken, pulled pork, or corn and bean varieties. That being said, the menu for the Smiling Crocodile has been known to change frequently, so make sure to check back in with us to learn about its most recent offerings if they do switch up again in the near future. And while I probably could have added Trilo Bites from Dinoland USA into our cold treat portion of this video, since it does have a solid variety of floats and soft serves, I added it here solely for its buffalo chicken chips, which don't get enough attention. The buffalo chicken chips are house-made chips served with buffalo chicken and blue cheese dressing, then topped off with tomato and celery relish. While blue cheese critics aren't going to fancy this one, these chips are a nice, big, and savory snack you can split with someone else in your group who may share your affinity for all things blue cheese and buffalo, all for under $10. Go Bills! Alright, so maybe your kid just won't eat. You got all the rides, the characters, the shows, the gift shops in Animal Kingdom. It can be difficult to turn to your kid and go, alright, we gotta stop all this for now and go have food. Because for some kids, sitting still and eating food is the last thing they want to do, regardless of how much their little tummies might be begging them for it. So good thing Animal Kingdom has a few restaurants that kids are gonna love anyway, even if that means putting their park day on temporary pause. While Pizzafari is far from being our favorite place to eat, we have to give it some credit for catering to the younger crowd thanks to its personal cheese and pepperoni pizzas. Is it the best pizza ever? Absolutely not. We're actually not too keen on the overly puffy pizzas that Disney has available inside several of its quick service locations, since they tend to be more bread and grease than anything else, but kids do seem to enjoy them because it's pizza we're talking about here. So if you're looking for something fairly affordable and fast that your kid might actually sit down and eat, Pizzafari may have your gratitude as well. It's also worth noting that Pizzafari is just really fun to look at for kids and adults alike. Each of its dining rooms is covered in colorful and quirky animal murals, and each room is themed around a different animal characteristic. One room is all about animals that use camouflage, another room features animals that carry their homes on their backs, then there's a room for all of our upside-down animal friends, and the final room showcases a bunch of different animals that like to party all night. So Restaurantosaurus over in Dinoland USA is another quick service with tons to look at in the main dining areas. Much paleontology, so dinosaur. And similar to Pizzafari, this place has some pretty safe eats nestled into a park that's usually more well known for some adventurous options. So this is where you're going to find your treasure trove of burgers and hot dogs and chicken nuggets and other standard theme park fare that kids might find more worth their while. And along with each kid's meal, your kid is also going to receive a mini National Geographic book crammed with fun facts about dinosaurs, so if the food doesn't sell them, maybe a book will, right? Yeah. Okay. Remember earlier how I was talking about Landry's and how Rainforest Cafe isn't exactly a restaurant I turn to when I'm looking for like a superb dining experience? Well, throw that out the window for a minute for the sake of your kids. Rainforest Cafe, in terms of menu variety and quality, is basically a more expensive version of Applebee's. Nothing wrong with Applebee's or anything, I just had it for dinner the other night, but I'd rather not pay a ton of money for the food there. And while you can find a Rainforest Cafe right at the mouth of the Animal Kingdom entrance, this is a chain restaurant with multiple locations across the states and Canada and elsewhere. However, if you're just wanting a place to have a sit-down meal that your kids aren't going to be whining to leave for the next hour, Rainforest Cafe is a good time for everyone. You got animatronic animals, you got rainstorms, giant aquariums, a Tracy tree in the gift shop who's basically a more unsettling version of Grandmother Willow from Pocahontas, but she's got a good heart, we think. And hey, if you like having a large variety of menu options, Rainforest Cafe does have that for you to look forward to. So no, Rainforest Cafe is not going to be a personal favorite of mine, but it is one of the best table service restaurants in Animal Kingdom when it comes to keeping kids entertained for the entire meal. And although I already talked about Tusker House earlier on, I just want to give it one more shout out here too, because many kids do love a Disney restaurant where their favorite characters show up for hugs and autographs. And yes, while the lunch and dinner buffet do have lots of adventurous options to choose from, there are tons of kids picks on the line too, including corn dog nuggets, some of my favorite mac and cheese in all of Disney World, chicken legs, green beans, and mashed potatoes. And, maybe the Mickey effect will work here, where because Mickey's there, your kids might try something new. I don't know, sometimes that happens. Now, if that didn't make you hungry, I don't know what will, because I would give anything for a Dino-rific ice cream sandwich right about now. If you want to keep exploring the best restaurants on Disney World property, do not forget to head to disneyfoodblog.com/top restaurants so we can send you our free PDF of our favorite places to eat in the parks and Disney Springs as well. Thanks for listening, everyone, and thanks for watching. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.